How could a preacher of grace like Paul tell us to work out our salvation? Well, are you ready for some good news? You never have to work for your salvation, but you can work out of your salvation. Here's the text in Philippians chapter 2. Therefore, my beloved, Paul writes, as you've always obeyed, so now, not only as in my presence, but much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it's God who works in you both to will and to do, to work out for His good pleasure. So if you love grace and cling to it the way I do, then you come to a verse like this and it can be sort of disturbing. What is he talking about? Well, let's just be clear about this. There's no way in the world that Paul, the preacher of grace, the one who absolutely says that we never live by fear and we don't live by even the smallest fragment of law, is suddenly telling us that we're supposed to work for our salvation. Instead, what he's talking about is working out from your salvation, working it out, letting it be manifest in your life. And so if you want to understand it, start with this. Work is a blessing. Work itself is not a curse. In the beginning, God gave Adam and Eve work to do in the garden. He gave them a vocation. So even in paradise, there was work. Work is a blessing. So think of it this way. If you were a kid and you tried out for the school play, wonder if everybody made the school play, but you didn't. You'd be, of course, disappointed, maybe even crushed. What you wanted is a chance to work out your play acting ability in the play. Or I think back to my high school soccer, where especially my sophomore year, I hardly ever played. And if we're in the championship game and the coach says, right, get in the game, that's great news because I want to go work out my skills as a soccer player. You want to. So work is a blessing. So when Paul says to work out your salvation, he doesn't mean you're working for it. He means you're getting to work out the manifestations and blessings of the salvation that God has given you in Jesus Christ. Work out your salvation. That's actually good news to us, and that's the gospel. Well, that's today's good news. You can get more like it by clicking right here, or better yet, subscribe, and be sure and start out every day with good news.